Hi, today we are in Kittery, Maine, and I read that it is the oldest town in Maine, so that was kind of cool. A lot of historic places that you can visit here, but you know me, I wanted to come to the beach. So we are at Fort Foster, okay, on the Piscataqua River, and behind me is Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and here we are in Maine in Kittery. So we're finding a lot of mixed shells out here, which is wonderful. So if you want to look down, I'll show you what we're seeing. First of all, we've got a mix because we've got a sandy, we've got a nice sandy beach, but we also have a lot of rocks and a nice granite coast. You're looking at a nice outcrop of granite right here. And so because there's enough sand flats in the river, we've got some nice surf clams, right? So beautiful surf clams, nice color. And they are bivalves, meaning they have two shells that protect the mollusk inside. See, here you can see one half of the valves is broken, and then that's the other one. Nice clean one there. Beautiful. We also have jackknife clams, which are bivalves, and I just found the tiniest little jackknife clam I've ever found in my life. So how pretty is that? It's just so delicate, though. I'll have to be careful if I want to keep that one. And then I found a portion here, too, of a jackknife clam, another surf clam, and we found one soft-shell clam, okay, soft-shell clam. And then we found a lot of crab carapaces, so the crabs must do well out here. This is a green crab, but I thought the blue inside was so pretty. And then it looks like we have a rock crab, another green crab, a claw, huge feather from a seagull, so that must be the great black-back seagull because it's so big. If you want to look over here, here's some more crab carapaces. And these all look like rock crabs too. Yep, as far as I can tell, those are all rock crabs. Let me put that back. And then we have some univalves, or they're called gastropods. These are mollusks that only need one shell. Now, typically, the slipper shells I see on a sandy beach, right, along with the other clams. But when it comes to the periwinkles, these are a little muddy. Periwinkles and dogwinkles, they tend to like to hang out on the rocks. So the periwinkles will eat algae off the rocks, so you usually find them on the rocks, sometimes on the sand. And again, the slipper snails, they'll stack up on each other, and that gives them a little bit more weight in the water. But beautiful common periwinkles, a nice dogwinkle, and I found one tiny little smooth periwinkle. Well, they're called yellow. This one's fairly pale. And we even found moon snails. So these are all moon snails. So that's a univalve too, called a gastropod, means stomach foot. And these guys like the sand. So they're not hanging out on the rocks. They're tunneling through the sand, and they're looking for something good to eat, like a clam or another moon snail. And there's a lot of pebbles on these beaches, and they're beautiful. So really nice pebbles. You can see this one's got a lot of neat spots. This one was broken open. Looks like it's got some mica in it. It's nice and shiny. Oh, and then here's some blue mussels, and this blue mussel has got the hold fast from a piece of kelp. Okay, so this is a piece of kelp, nice beautiful piece of kelp, and that would be a hold fast from a kelp. That's how they anchor themselves in the water, because they like to sway in the waves. Now, this little guy is a coral weed. It turns white when it gets to shore and it bleaches out in the sun. And then it looks like I have a little piece of sea lettuce, and it looks like a piece of Irish moss. And then over here we have a lot more horse mussels. They look like the blue mussel, this little one definitely, but you can tell the horse mussel has a little bend to its beak. See, let me see. That one's more obvious. Okay, I don't know, maybe that's a blue mussel. That actually looks like a blue, and that looks like a horse, and that one's definitely the horse mussel. Okay, so those can be tough to tell apart, but there's a nice sample from Fort Foster Beach in Kittery, Maine. Enjoy the view, because there's lots of lighthouses and interesting things along this coast.